started planning this sort of weekend probably a year ago, in theory. And then probably a couple of months ago we started thinking, okay, that seemed like a good idea. Now what? Fortunately, we've got a few people here at Adhisthana who are very good at putting their head to that kind of thing.
The theme came about from a conversation very early on at Adhisthana with Triratna suggested doing something on the arts, and Parami suggested we just go through Bante's essay, A Religion of Art, and we found this beautiful quote. It's quite a well-known one, with the line, "Conscious surrender to the beautiful." So we chose that quote as the title, and we based our weekend around that. Although it's something we don't emphasise that much in teaching that goes on in centres, actually it is a flavour of our community, and there are a lot of people that have taken that really seriously and have been working away in wherever they are, producing beautiful paintings, ceramics, poetry, other pieces of writing, pieces of music. So in a way it was just really lovely to showcase some of that.
Yeah, I had a moment yesterday realising this is one of those perfect moments in life. So I was with Kusala Devi, who's a really dear friend, and we'd been asked to make a garland for Bante, and we did that during a very, very beautiful classical concert. It was just one of those moments I thought, oh, can it get any better than this?
Oh gosh, there's so much logistically to take into account, but we had an amazing timeline. So at some point a huge timeline appeared with all the particular tasks, when they had to be done by, who was doing them, and we just worked our way through them, taking the sheets of paper off as we did the tasks. Initially we thought we might get about 250 people here, and Sangharakshita was absolutely unflummoxed at cooking for those sort of numbers. But then more and more and more people just wanted to come, and we made a decision that we didn't want to turn people away if possible. We kept saying to Sangharakshita, but you're now cooking for 300 or it's 350. And at some point Sangharakshita just said, oh, bring it on, we'll just cater. So we had places serving food, so it wasn't a case of queuing up in the dining room. We had an outdoor catering point station where people could just go and... People kept saying to me it was amazing, they thought they were going to have to queue for hours, and actually it was faster than Wyndham.
I was a little bit concerned about 400 people at Adhisthana, but it's felt really spacious, isn't it? You know, and it's such a good crowd of people too, and the food has been wonderful.
I've loved it. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to see friends and kind of brings the whole history of our movement together. I've loved the theme of art, writing, visual art. I've just been to a really good talk on contemporary art, visualisation practice. It was excellent. Very, very good, and fantastic organisation.
Well, it's been marvellous, but it's been completely exhausting. We've been reporting extensively, Chandradasa and I, on Instagram and on Tumblr and Facebook and the Buddhist Centre online. Everything that's happened here has been in some way recorded. Really just trying to get out the spirit of this event to the world of Triratna.
So this event was, the date of it almost coincides with Bante's 90th birthday, so obviously that was a big theme for the weekend. And so quite a centrepiece was an exhibition in the library called 9 Decades of Sangharakshita. And it was based on interviews that Sadhnandi had done with Bante over the last, quite a long time, months. And she wanted to have objects of Bante and have his history through those objects. The really exciting thing was that there's also an audio as well as a visual exhibition. So there were, I don't know how many MP3 players there which people could use to listen to the actual interviews. So as well as seeing those objects, they could actually hear Bante's words about why those objects were important to him and what they meant to him over those decades. We asked Bhante a while back if he would come, and he wouldn't commit until he saw how he felt. He was worried that maybe if he hadn't slept, he wouldn't be able to come. And then he said he would come. We were waiting for him to come over to the shrine room at 5. And at 5 to 5, it just like thunder and lightning, and the heavens just opened, and it just absolutely poured. And we were all chanting the Indian Shakyamuni mantra, the one that he gave to the Indian order some years back. It was a really poignant moment for me, and I think probably for many of us.
I think the highlight had to be Bhante coming over to be with us and just witnessing this amazing thunderstorm that just only happened while Bhante came over to be with us. It felt very auspicious, and it felt like, well, this is Adhisthana, this is what goes on here.
I was very incredibly moved actually by seeing Bhante coming into the shrine room yesterday. I've been feeling very tired and wanted to give up on my work because I was so tired, and suddenly I had this new burst of energy after I saw him there. I felt very, just very moved actually by his presence, and the fact that he managed to struggle, summon up the energy to come and spend something like 15 minutes with us, I think. In the middle of the most astonishing shower of rain, pouring torrents of rain. The whole weekend's been a bit balmy like that, really.
And then also what was really lovely was just watching him obviously enjoy the event. So we had Kalyana Prabha, who's one of Bhante's literary editors, and she was about to launch a new book. And so these are writings that Bhante did, essays, poems, while he was living in Moseley. So Kalyana Prabha was launching that book, and she gave a little, she gave a 10-minute talk really about the book and a bit about Bhante. So Subhuti introducing her, it was lovely actually just seeing Bhante. I was sitting next to him, he was chuckling at some of the things that Subhuti was saying. And I think he was also chuckling at Subhuti yelling into the microphone to try and combat the sound of the monsoon rain on the roof.
How have you found the weekend? Oh, it's been marvellous. Yeah, I think I could stay here forever. Yeah, can you arrange that?
I love the venue, and the arts have always been very important for me, making the bridge between the arts and this thing we call the spiritual life. So I've been a fish swimming around very happily this weekend.
Oh, there were all sorts of things happening. There were little groupings of people sitting around chatting. There was storytelling happening in one of the tents. There was also music in the barn. So, or as I was told this morning, I had to say the barn, so that people who don't get my Glaswegian accent will understand. And different people doing pujas in different places. I noticed that a couple of times.
The mantra chanting that we did last night in the puja was beautiful, led by Yeshadeva, and he suggested that we all meditated for 15 minutes on our sadhana or yidam, and then we start chanting the mantra out loud, all at the same time, in whatever speed or chant we normally do it in. And you had this rather beautiful sort of sound cloud evolve that went on for I have no idea how long. It somehow, that was the weekend in that moment of how people can do something individually, but it's still based on something they've received, in this case a mantra at their ordination, and then you work it up into something unified and if you like, transcendent as well.
So when we apply this to the arts, this means learning restraint and discipline in relationship to what we turn to for pleasure, relaxation and entertainment.
So we had 3 kind of major talks. There were a number of other talks that popped up, and they were very different talks, but they were all of them exploring the place of the arts, not separating our aesthetic experience from our spiritual life.
It's never been so easy to waste time. I do it, you do it, we all do it. When you flick down the pictures on Facebook and see yet more photographs of snow when it's snowing. Remarkable bits of literature like, today I bought a man bag photograph, you know.
How long have you been ordained? 6 months. And you've got a gold case as well. Yes, I'm the Sangharakshita. You got a white one, I see. Yeah. Still indulging willy-nilly and hanky-panky. A sea of white. For on a cheer order, there's a lot of hanky-tanky going on.
We had everything. We had very well prepared performances of people who'd, from some of our musicians who are classical pianists, people who have years and years of experience in the classical music world, just sharing that, such generosity. And then pop-up comedy artists and pop-up things, some Kalyana Mitra ceremonies happened, friendship ceremonies, and I almost feel like there's something about what we've done this weekend which feels to me like it's almost paradigmatic of what Triratna is. Friendship, collaboration, teamwork, serious teaching, serious talks, hilarious talks, and just such a variety of art and music and just people doing it all together. Fantastic. Maybe